Good morning, everyone. This is Kurt Zilberscher with eLearning 2.0. I'd like to thank everybody very much for joining our webinar this morning. And I'm going to give everyone just 1 minute to get logged in and to get set up. So at 10:01, 1 minute from now, we will formally start the presentation. So hang on tight, and we'll be right with you. Okay, good morning, everyone. Again, this is Kurt Zilberscher, eLearning 2.0, and I wanted to welcome everyone to our webinar this morning, which we're going to be looking at a very exciting tool that is going to become much more well-known as it gets introduced into the mainstream, and I wanted to allow everyone to have a first look at that. So. I'd like to introduce everyone to our presenter today. His name is Steve Albanese, and he's a very interesting entrepreneur who's on the cutting edge of some of these e-learning tools. And I've known Steve for a long time. I met him in December of 2015, so I think we're going on 3 months now. We met at a ATD Association for ATD meeting in Waltham, Massachusetts, Association for Talent Development, in which we had an e-learning cook-off, and it was at that meeting that Steve, you and I had a chance to meet, and you told me about what you were working on, and I thought, wow, this is cool. I have an audience that definitely wants to learn more about that. So I'm very happy that you're here with us this morning to present what you have. And at that point, I'd like to turn it over to you, Steve. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here, and I'm looking forward to our presentation this morning. Take it away.
All right, great. Well, thanks, Kurt. Thanks for the opportunity. Hi, everybody. So right now, you should be seeing a slide screen, and I'm going to actually use LearnBolt today in the presentation. So you're actually looking at my iPad screen. So what I'm going to do, first off, is just kind of give you a little bit of background of what LearnBolt is. So what is it? LearnBolt is a turnkey mobile training solution that helps small businesses sustain and grow through knowledge mining and on-demand training. Okay, there's my little elevator pitch. But in general, I think LearnBolt is a new breed of training products. And so what we're trying to do is take the idea of the way that people learn today, kind of in the moment. You know, if you need to learn something, many of you, I would bet, you just search it. You kind of expect that information to be with you in the moment and be able to get it at any time and anywhere. So I'm calling LearnBolt a new breed of training products, and I'm referring to it as a learning, development, and delivery system, in that it goes from the conception of the training need to the collection of content, to the organization, and finally to the delivery in one system from using a mobile device. So LearnBolt, to get into the specifics now, LearnBolt consists of 3 major components. So the first part of LearnBolt is the media library, and the media library is you can kind of think of this as your content management system. So you can curate or collect content from anywhere. You can grab text, image, sound, video, web links, grab them from the web, Dropbox, Google Drive, Instagram, all cloud services, or you can just start recording with your mobile device. Record some audio, capture some images, record some video. So that's kind of the core. We collect the content into this media library, and you can tag it. Then from there, the next part of LearnBolt is where we organize the content. And what we've done is we've created learn paths and learn path types. So a learn path type is basically a well thought out structure designed to help you organize the content to get over that hurdle of getting started. So for example, a learn path type might be a how-to, a lesson, a tour, guide, review. So when you're building content, you think, okay, I need to create some content, or I need to build some training right now. What assets do I have, and then how do I want to organize this? And this is where LearnBolt or where LearnPaths come in. And then finally is the concept of sharing. So as you are collecting the content and building this LearnPath, all of this is automatically being uploaded and stored securely in the cloud. So when it comes time to share, you can immediately share that content across to multiple employees, friends, colleagues, etc. So that's the basic components of LearnBolt. And what I'd like to do right now is I'm actually going to go in and give you a real-world example. And I'm in the LearnBolt interface right now. And up in the top left-hand corner, I'm just revealing some of the interface controls. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go hit the button in the top left-hand corner, and that's my library button. I'm going back to my LearnPath library where I originally selected this. And now I'm going to tap on the top left-hand corner again to go to my home screen. And this is where you would land once you sign into the application. And by the way, if anybody would like to download this, at this point, LearnBolt is a iOS front end for our learning development and delivery system. So if you have an iPad or iPhone, you can download this now, and I can actually share some stuff to you by the end of this presentation. But when you land at the home screen, basically you have some product information, a demo video that shows you how to do it. Notice our key components here. We have the LearnPath library and the media library. And then you have a profile page where you can add your information, your image, etc. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the LearnPath, and I'd like to, instead of start building something right away, I'd like to actually just show you an example of how this is being used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tap one of these LearnPaths, and I'm going to give you a scenario of we're working with a pizza place. Okay, there's a pizza chain, has 3 locations, and every Thursday night, actually, they make 900 pounds of dough for that coming Friday's pizza rush, which is kind of amazing to me. But anyway, it's very important that they get this process going at a certain time to meet the next day's demand. Well, in this scenario, what happens is that the manager comes in, checks location 1, checks location 2, checks location 3. Location 3, nothing's happening. The guy who's supposed to be doing that job is not there. Starts calling, calls his cell phone, calls his mother, calls his sister, calls his girlfriend, starting to freak out. Hey, we need to get this done, and the guy's not there. Well, in the LearnBolt world, what we try to do with businesses is we tell them to make a bite-size or a proportional investment in training when they see it. So with a mobile device, since I can capture some video, hey, you're making pizza dough right now, capture that video. Hey, you got a great shot of the best pizza ever being made, capture that, and it's immediately stored in the library. So when you need it in this moment, you can curate some content and quickly share it and build training. And I find that a lot of small businesses operate with reactionary or firefighting. Like, what just happened? How do I fix it? So anyway, in this scenario, I'm going to show you is that the pizza owner needed to get someone up and running. And so what you're seeing right here is the slide deck, and this is what the employee would see if he shared it to his mobile device. So you've got this title screen. It's a quick lesson for Jimmy. I'm just going to slide over, and now what we have here is what we call a main path slide. And in this main path slide, what the pizza owner decided to do is just add a video. Okay, so a video has been added right to the main slide. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and play that. Okay, so the video, I don't know what the video playback quality over the webinar is like, but I'll just give you a little scenario. So basically open an iPad here, hit record and said, hey Jimmy, I know you've never done this job before, but I've provided all the information you need to get you up and running and to get this pizza dough made tonight. For example, I've included the recipe, and so down what you'll see at the bottom of the screen, these are what we call a media links. So you have a text media link on the left, then a couple images, then a video, then a web link. And so what he's saying along the way here, and this is in the moment, he says, okay, here's all the information that you need, and below I provided support information that will help you achieve that goal of making the pizza dough. And by the way, he says, well, unfortunately, we need some kosher salt, and could you get that? So now I'll show you down to the bottom, so I'll go ahead and I'm going to tap the text media icon. And so here we go. Here's the recipe. And there's caption text on the top that talks about it, and I could go ahead and print that if I want. I'm going to go back to the main path slide, and now here's some images for the visual learner. So also, LearnBolt is designed to cater towards various learning styles and knowledge levels, in that a visual learner might jump right here and, okay, I kind of see what I need to do. I'm going to go back to the main path slide, and then here's a little video tutorial that shows them how to make the pizza dough. Okay, so now I'll go back, and here I'm going to go to the web link, and what do I have there? Now here's a web link that actually shows them the kosher salt that he needs to pick up. Okay, so relatively simple there. And so now what I'm going to do is I can go back to the library, and he would share it from here, and here's the share button. So what I'd like to do right now is kind of show you how quickly something like that could be curated. So I'm going to go back to my main path slide. I'm going to go ahead and go into the media library, and I'd like to show you here the concept of adding some content. So up in the top in the media library, basically what you can do is you can look at the different media assets that you have in your library. And once again, this is a cloud-based library, a content management system. I can look at the videos I have. I can look at it all. Or I could search it off to the top right-hand corner. From here, I could go and start recording some audio, snap some images, or record some video. But what I would like to do right now is I'd like to grab some content from a cloud-based services. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the plus sign in the top right-hand corner. Okay, and here is where I can collect or select some media assets. So I'm going to go and grab some images. So I'm going to click on the image button. And then here are my options on where I can grab that content. So once again, I could go right to my camera, or I could get stuff from my album, or I could maybe go to Google Drive. But you see all your options here. I could actually just search the internet to find an image that relates to that. But I'm going to go ahead to Google Drive. And I'm going to go to my account, and I'm going to go to the image folder. And I'm going to grab a couple images that I think are appropriate. Okay, I can grab those and I hit go. And now what's happening is those images are being grabbed from Google Drive. They're being imported into LearnBolt. And now you'll notice that the icons on the images, they're actually being uploaded to the cloud services. So now you have them there. So this is a way that you could grab the content. What I could do once I have that content is I could go in and tag it. So I could add a tag related to that. I could say, make sure when you make the dough, you use the stainless steel bowls. Okay? Didn't quite get all my content there, but you kind of see we can just grab that content and tag these images. So now once I have that, I'm going to go back to my LearnPath library. Okay? And now when I'm in the LearnPath library, once again, the interface is similar. Here what I could do is I could go ahead and hit the plus button. So now I'm going to actually add a LearnPath. So I'm going to go up, and up at the top you'll see it says create LearnPaths. And these are our LearnPath types, different types of LearnPaths that you have to select. So in this scenario, I'm going to do a lesson. So I'm going to select lesson. Okay, and down here at the bottom are the themes. And basically this is like themes like you might have in PowerPoint or Keynote, and we could have a bunch of these. So the themes basically are to how you want your LearnPath to look. So I'm going to go ahead and click stainless, and I'm going to hit create. And now what I'm going to do, oops, let's go ahead and hit create again, and now I'll just name that. So let's go ahead and pizza dough. Quick lesson for Jimmy. Okay, now obviously I could type this stuff in. I could go ahead and add a description. But what we're trying to do is really leverage what a mobile device can do. So I'm going to use that voice recognition there. So now I hit enter. And what's happening in the background is it is creating a LearnPath type based on the LearnPath and the lesson LearnPath. Okay, so here's my initial slide. It's got my information in there. And so now what I could do is I can make this a little bit more visually appealing, say, for the visual learner. So in LearnBolt, you'll notice as you start adding slides, you have buttons on here that allow you to add content. So in the bottom right-hand corner, I have a button, and I'm just going to tap that. I'm going to add an image to make the background image more relating to, say, our pizza dough example here. So I'll go ahead and select that image, and now that's part of my background. So now this is where the Learn Path type comes in. What I'm going to do, once again, notice the consistency in the interface. In the top right-hand corner is the arrow, and the interface is actually just floating over the top of the content that you're creating. So up in the top left-hand corner, what I'm going to do is hit the plus button. Okay. Now what happens here is this shows me the slides that are available, both design and content relating to the lesson Learn Path type. So really these are meant to kind of get you over the hurdle. How might I organize this? Do I have a purpose? Or do I want to have steps? Maybe I want to include a conclusion. I want to do a when, where, why, how. So really these relate to the specific subject, and you can kind of select what you want. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just select a video introduction. So I'll go ahead and I'll just add another slide just because. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add. Okay, so now we're done. We've got our basic structure, so now we could start adding content. So now I'm going to go and tap in the left-hand side the first image. Now you notice there's a plus image on here. So what I could do is I could go ahead and tap it, and I could go right to my camera and record an image, record a video, or I could select something from my library. Let me see, I'll be a little dangerous here and record a video. Hi guys. Hey Jimmy, I know you've never made pizza dough before, but I really could use your help. You'll find the media links down below. We'll get you up and running. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so there we go. So as simple as that, I've recorded that video. Now once again, this is cloud-based. In the background, you don't have to worry about it. This video has been uploaded to the cloud, is now available for sharing. So down at the bottom, you'll notice the media links. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select one of the media links. Let's add that recipe. So I'll go ahead and add text. Let's go and add the recipe. Okay, and notice it pulls in this content and has the caption text that I might have created in the media library. So let's go ahead and let's grab a few images. And now I'm going to go to my media library, and maybe I want to search. Maybe I have tons of dough-related things. So I'm going to select this one, 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 and this one. I think those are important. Hit BAM, and now they're in there. Okay, so now I could swipe through all of these images. Okay, so the next thing, I go back to my Learn Path library, and I might go and add that video. So let's go to the library and grab that content, and I could search. And there's the dough one, and I hit enter, and now it's part of this. Okay. Once again, you can see, and you can see the badges down at the bottom noting how many media assets we have associated. Now here, I need kosher salt, but I don't have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to search the web, and I'm going to tap here, and I'm going to go ahead, Peapod kosher salt. Okay, so find the link that I need. There it is, and I go ahead and I hit use. Okay, now that's part of my library, and I could add caption text here, and I could say, hey Jimmy, here's the kosher salt that we needed. Please pick it up at Stop and Shop. Thanks. Okay, so now I've basically got it. Okay, and you could see if I wanted to build another slide, this slide is unique because it has, I could add text. Hey Jimmy, here's some information for you. Now this doesn't relate to what we're doing now, but I wanted to show you, you could also add audio. Hey Jimmy, here's an extra slide. And now that's there. I could go ahead and add an image here. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. You can build a pretty elaborate Learn Path very quickly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my, now that I have this and I think I'm ready to send it to Jimmy, I'm going to go ahead and select it. And I'm going to go up in the top right-hand corner and select the share button. And here what I'm going to do is I'll add Jimmy from my contact list. Okay, so there we go. And I could add as many people as I want depending on the account status that I have. Now, if any of you guys would like to check this out and you've downloaded LearnBolt, you could watch this immediately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit share. Okay. Now what's happened is now this has been sent, an email has been sent to Jimmy, and the actual email address I set up for this webinar is webinar@learnbolt.com. And so if you were on this list, you'd get that email, and what you could do is you could open up LearnBolt, and when you open up, select guest login, and then simply type in the share code, which is LP0501, and the email address webinar@learnbolt.com, and you'll be able to watch in play mode what we just created. Okay? So that's it in general as far as quickly creating it. And to talk about training in general, you know, my background is I've built some learning management systems in the past, some specific content, and kind of been on the products and service side. But I really felt that there was a need for a product like this to quickly curate and build content on the fly. And yes, with the amazing capabilities that you have in a mobile device, I really thought it was a possibility. So I want to show you one other example here, and this is a more elaborate LearnPath. And I'm going to go, and you'll notice we're in the LearnPath library right now. And this is what we would call, I'm in LearnBolt as an educator. So I have the ability to create LearnPaths, edit them, as well as view other LearnPaths that have been shared with me. Down at the bottom are LearnPaths that have been shared to my account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a LearnPath here. And this LearnPath, I'll give you the quick scenario on this. So this business owner really wanted to test LearnBolt. And so the concept of LearnBolt is as in the moment, collecting, and what I mentioned earlier is the concept of knowledge mining. You know, this company spends a lot of money insuring all of their hardware assets, but really not a lot of money insuring their intellectual property and their software assets and how they do things. So you can kind of think of LearnBolt with an iPad is that you could start collecting this stuff on the fly. So in this, how this LearnBolt was built is that what we went in, and we call it in our business a knowledge miner. So a knowledge miner went in almost as a new employee and what went in and basically mirrored a subject matter expert. Now in this scenario, the bartender was to explain to us what a bartender needs to do in their AM checklist to get ready for the day. So once again, you can see the title screen. Just simply snap the picture of the bar, and that becomes part of our title screen. So now we're going to go to the first slide. And here, you know, this is a picture of the restaurant. There's a web link down at the bottom that can take you to the website. But then in the first slide, what was done is the knowledge miner actually just recorded a video of the pizza owner telling about what was going to happen. Okay? Now I know the video is a little chunky on the playback, but what he tells you here is he says, hey, new employee, and this is to be used for onboarding. He said, hey, new employee, what we're going to do is our subject matter expert here is going to take you through the process of the AM checklist. And, you know, here we go. And so down at the bottom, you'll notice there's a text media icon. Here's the actual checklist that they're going to use. And so how this worked is the bartender or the owner just basically put this in Dropbox, and we were able to add it to LearnBolt. So now we go to the next slide. And so there's specific steps that they have to do. So what we did is we just created a step or a slide for the next step, added the content, okay? And you know, we have audio content. So once again, we cater towards various learning styles in that if someone just wants to hear what it's about, they could listen to the audio, okay? So now also we cater towards, or LearnBolt caters towards various knowledge levels. So the veteran person might skip over and just goes on the top layer LearnPath slides. But down at the bottom is that supporting information. So the visual learner, okay, well, drain plate. So here's some additional information. Where do we find this information? In the bar. So there's a map, okay? And then we go through, and I know these aren't spectacular pictures, but the whole concept of this is kind of like in the YouTube generation in that you can really grab amazing quality audio with video, images, photos with as a mobile device, as you know. So what we're doing is, as she's telling this stuff, we're just snapping pictures, and it's being added to the LearnPath library. So imagine if you mirror someone and you're trying to get up and running. This is very inconsistent, and so what we're trying to do is capture all of these best practices. So now, as you go through it, and then here's another example. So I go to the next slide, and here's one of the videos. Now, I know it's hard to hear.
Or beer tap plugs. When you pull these out, you might notice that they're a little bit wet and saturated.
So the concept here is, yes, this isn't super polished, but the speed that we're able to create it, I think, becomes a real value. Now, you can do additional video production and make these as really as polished, but the point is that we were able to get through this in about an hour and a half. And so we were able to collect all this content, and that's all the business owner was willing to give us in mirroring that. So all of this content was collected, and now what they have is basically a LearnPath that they could immediately use when they need to onboard a new employee. And what the business owner also found is that he's using this for cross-training in other employees. Basically, he can tie their wage, their raises based on the amount of information that they know as far as supporting other jobs. One other quick thing I'm going to show you is that when you watch LearnPath and LearnBolt, basically it's building these slides on the fly. So the content is all independent of the actual slides. So for example, if I wanted to view this as a little bit different way, I'm going to hit up the media icon button in the top right-hand corner. And say I just wanted to cut to the chase, and I just wanted to watch the videos that related to this. And there they are. And I could search them if I'd like. So this whole concept of immediate access and then having it basically, you have a designated path to go through, but being nonlinear in that a person can jump to what they want immediately, I think is a big plus. So that's basically it. One other thing I wanted to mention is that LearnBolt has been designed, or the original concept was to help small businesses develop a training program. But recently we've been very fortunate to have been noticed by a national hotel chain, and LearnBolt will be rolled out into 432 hotel locations by the middle of this month. And what was very interesting about this, and some of you trainers might find this, is you'd think like this big company, they have huge LMS and they have all the resource in the world, but what they found very intriguing in LearnBolt is that the speed of development, and they honestly were sidestepping some of the training things that they had. And in a demo when I did it to the higher ups there, they said, this would take months for us to do internally. And the whole idea, and we were lucky enough that they had iPads in all of their locations, so it was kind of a no-brainer in just the speed of development. They had a real quick need to deliver training across all the organizations, and LearnBolt seemed to be a great solution for them to do it in very short order and really make it look nice. That was key for them. So Kurt, that's kind of my, I mean, I have other examples I can show people, but if there are any questions or comments, I'd be open to that.
Right, so thanks, Steve. Great presentation, really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And I want to leave the question panel open here. And are you able to see that question panel, the questions as they're coming in as well, Steve? Because I see that there are a number of questions that are coming in. And let's see. So let me kind of go in order here. Is LearnBolt only available in the Apple environment, or is it available for Android as well?
So to answer that question, as of today, LearnBolt has an iOS front end, but just so you know, it's a cloud back end. So really, yes, we could have an Android front end or a web front end, and that is in the plans. Our goal, this was a startup business, so our goal was basically to get it out and kind of proof of concept. But the way this product has been built, we can have various front ends. But the one thing I would mention, this is kind of a bold statement, is that I really we wanted to build something that was mobile first. and not desktop first, and kind of seeing the transition of how computers may be dropping and tablets and things may be up scaling. So if we build this from the mobile first concept, I think it kind of gives us an edge. So that will always be our focus, to kind of build a mobile front end for this and really take advantage of all the amazing things that a mobile device can do. Okay? Is there another one, Kurt?
Yeah, there's Glenn asks, can you show a recipe path? And I wasn't exactly 100% sure what his intent was. Can you?
Okay, so Kurt, I'm sorry, I didn't get the person's name. Glenn. So Glenn, maybe you're referring to a LearnPath type. So what I'm going to do is I'm in the LearnPath library. I'm going to hit the plus icon up in the top left-hand corner, and yes, these are the different LearnPaths types. So I could go ahead and select recipe, and I could select a theme that I think would work, and I could go ahead and I'll just select the Waves theme. Okay, and I'll go ahead and hit enter, and let's just say recipe example, and let's just go making meatballs. I don't know, I'm just making this up. So I'll go ahead, and so once again, Glenn, it's building this based on the recipe type. And so I could just start adding content, but if I tap on the plus icon, you'll see that these slides are labeled a little bit differently. So we might start out with an introduction to making meatballs, maybe the preparation, maybe we want to cover the slides, maybe we wanted to do a little history, and then maybe we were just going to do steps of how to do it. So once again, these slides here are meant to really give you an idea on how to structure it. Okay? So now I could get my basic outline, and maybe I wanted to change that. Maybe I wanted to start off with, so what I'm going to do is edit the slides and push something up to the top. Okay? And now I could just start adding content. I could go here and maybe go to my, I don't know if I have any pizza related or cooking related things, but you kind of get the concept here. I could just kind of go in and start building it from here. So I hope that answered your question. So as far as the recipe LearnPath type, it's basically a structure, but now I have it, and now I could start adding content. I could start recording video, even searching the web and grabbing YouTube videos. So, someone brought up the other day how YouTube how-to videos are really kind of changing the game, in that where do people as their first point of researching how to do something is YouTube. It's kind of going beyond some of the universities and colleges. So if I wanted to, what I could do is I could go to my media library, and I could go to web, and I could say YouTube making meatballs. So here's something that this is my thought, and maybe I wanted to use this video. I really liked it. And now that's part of my library. So if we go back here and we go into this example, if I wanted to add that video to this slide, oops, let's go back. And there it is, it's added. And so if I was to share that with you, you would have it immediately. I could go in and say, hey, I found this Howcast YouTube video on making meatballs. It's the best ever. So I think one of the things as far as being a trainer, and I've done some lectures and I've done training in the past, but my thought is that we might be pivoting slightly on our role, in that we might be a librarian, or our ability to quickly curate content to meet that need. Person has a need to be trained. How can I quickly assemble that stuff and get him what he needs? And that might be from my own library, or it might be curating content from really anywhere that we could find it on the internet. So hopefully that answered your question. Anything else, Kurt?
Yeah. So Jelena or Yelena, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. My apologies if I did it incorrectly, but she wanted clarification on the guest code that would be needed for logging in, downloading the application.
So I'm going to select that, and I hit the share code. And so once again, the learn path type is, you can see it up here at the top. It's LP0501, and then the web or the email address you would use is webinar, W-I-B-I-N-A-R, @LearnBolt.com. And what you would see if you enter that, and you could do that on an iPhone or an iPad, what you would see is this. Okay, the video that I added, and that information. So hopefully that helped out. Now, one thing I want to mention here is currently we're using iPads to create learn paths and iPhones to view. So if you download just the iPhone version, you'll notice you have just some capabilities, primarily just the viewing. Our goal in the production plan is to really add some of those editing capabilities all within an iPhone as well. But hopefully that answered your question. Okay.
So Glenn had a follow-up question about whether there's a way to validate learning easily.
Okay. So right now, Glenn, we're in what I would call tier 2 of our 4-stage development. So initially was to be able to push content and build it. Now what we're doing is we're in the stage of an internal, it's not shown on this version of LearnBolt, but right here underneath the user profile is a roster button, and then what you have there is the list of employees or users you have to your account. And then from here this is where we would do kind of authentication of where, did a person actually look at the learn path. That is something that will be released here in the roster option. So you can download and use LearnBolt for free, and that's what we call LearnBolt Basic. There's LearnBolt's Plus or Starter account, which gives you more storage and share capability, a LearnBolt Plus, which gives you more storage and capabilities. Then there's another product which we'll be releasing and using with the national chain. It's more of a custom version. It's called LearnBolt Business, and that adds the roster and probably more of the capabilities that you would want as far as the potential analytics. So hopefully that answered that.
Thanks. Jennifer, to answer your question, yes, this webinar is being recorded. Will be made available on elearningbuzz.com, and I will also have I'll send an announcement up in our LinkedIn group, eLearning 2.0, announcement is available and when it is available. So that will be provided shortly, so keep an eye out for it, and it will be. Are there any other questions from the group? Anything left that is bugging you that you'd like to put out there and ask Steve before we wrap it up for today? Okay, will the link be pushed to the attendees? No, well, actually, yes, I can do that. Sure. I do have a list of the attendees who registered, and I will go ahead and push that out as well. So that video will be made available to all of you who are in attendance here, as well as to all of our members in the group. So thanks for the question. Anything else? No? Looks good. Okay, well, Steve, thanks so much for your time. I think you did an outstanding job, not only in your presentation, but also in developing a very cool tool that adds to the repertoire of all of us in the e-learning industry that lets us explore new horizons in mobile learning. So I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank all of the attendees very much for participating today, and keep your eyes open for new and interesting webinars that we'll be presenting in eLearning 2.0. So thanks so much.
Great.
Have a great day. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Just real quick, if anybody would like more information, I can be contacted. Let me get to my end slide here. So you can send an email to info@learnbolt.com, or you can send it to steve@learnbolt if you'd like to follow up after and learn more about the product and our offerings. I'd love to hear some feedback from any of the trainers out there. The initial product is small business, and now we're dealing with large business, but our initial thought was K through 12, higher ed, the whole 9 yards. So we've used this for all over the place, but right now we're just kind of focusing on the training world. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and please try download it and let me know what you think. And I look forward to hearing from some of you. And thanks again for taking the time to watch the webinar and check out LearnBolt. Thanks again.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.